There's many cases out there where people bought a used bike and they buy it, it looks perfect, you know, they don't know what to look for. They think, oh, looks great from the outside, must be in perfect condition. Wrong. There's a lot of things you gotta check before you buy the bike. So let's get started with GD Warriors 10 things to check for when buying a used bike. What's going on, guys? It's your boy GD Warrior. Hope you guys all doing good from sunny South Florida. Just wanted to say hi and talk with you guys about a specific subject. Let's say you're in the market to buy a Warrior, or actually in the market to buy any type of motorcycle. Then I want to give you some tips on what to look for, what to check for when you buy a used bike. You're in the market for a used bike. You want to buy a nice Warrior. You went online, you saw a few. You can't buy them brand new anymore because they've been discontinued since 2010, including, you know, Canada and Europe. However, you saw a few used ones and you fell in love with a particular bike, at least online. Don't let your emotions, you know, drive you to buy the bike, because even if the bike looks freaking perfect from the outside, you don't know how it is on the inside. See what I'm saying? There's many cases out there where people bought a used bike and they buy it, it looks perfect, you know, they don't know what to look for. They think, oh, looks great from the outside, must be in perfect condition. Wrong. There's a lot of things you gotta check before you buy the bike, and I'll tell you exactly what. I'm on the bike right now. I'm going to AutoZone, buy a few things for my car. Power steering fluid hose, mine cracked, gotta replace that one. And in the meantime, I'm gonna tell you exactly what to look for when you buy a used motorcycle. That applies to the Warriors and to any other bike. Number one, every bike has its own identification number, and it's called a VIN, Vehicle Identification Number. And it's a serial number that you will find on the bike. The location of that can be different on any bike, but on the Warrior it's right here in the front, on the right, by the on the frame over there. So what you want to do is, when you find the bike that you want to buy, make sure you check the VIN number. Make sure you check it with all documents, and make sure it matches on the title, you know, bill of sale, because when you go register the bike and all that, they will look for it, and if there is something, you know, wrong, then, you know, it's going to be a lot of headache for you guys. Which brings me actually to the next thing, the title. Make sure that it's not a rebuild title or anything like that, because you can buy a bike with a rebuild and rebuild the title, or you know, when it's time to sell the bike, there's no fucking way anybody's gonna buy it. So you want a clean title, nothing on it, and make sure that there is no lien on the bike. You know, you don't want to buy a bike, give the guy the cash, and then there is a lien on the bike, you know, because the lien would have to be paid off first, and you will never get the title because the title is with the bank. So when you have a loan on the bike, the bike is not yours, the bike belongs to the bank. And and as long as the bike is not paid off, don't even think about getting the title. However, you know, if you have an honest seller, he will tell you, hey, listen man, there is a loan on the bike, it needs to be paid off, and when you pay it off, then they will send you the title. So you will have to get all the information of the bank, verify, make sure everything is legit, name, owner, blah blah blah. Talk to the bank, and either let the seller pay off that freaking loan and you give him the cash, but make sure you get all the confirmation and all that stuff, or you take matters in your own hand, you know, write up a bill of sale and you know, send a check to the bank and pay it off yourself, and you know, and they will send you the title under your name. So these are like the formalities. Make sure you have a bill of sale ready, you know, write it up with him, make sure everything is signed, odometer is filled out, new seller, blah blah blah. Make sure you fill out the title the correct way, you know, as a buyer and as a seller in a private transaction. You need to fill out the title on the front of the page, not on the back. All right, I did the mistake once. We filled out a title on the back side of the page, and that's, I think, where the dealership fills out their stuff. So don't do that. So these are like the most important things regarding formality. Okay, now it's time to go and check the bike in person, right? When you go there, call up the seller, and what I always do is I'm telling them to leave the bike cold. You want a cold engine. Why is that? You don't want them to run the bike or tell you, hey, all right, you know what, I'm gonna warm up the engine for you. No. Engine stays cold, my friend. Because when the engine is cold, that's when you can hear strange fucking engine noises, you know, running condition, clickings, all types of things. You know, that's when most of the time the bike will show you truly what's going on internally. You know, and if you have a trained ear and trained eye, for example, valve tick and all that other stuff, and all that other stuff. You know, now valve tick gets worse when the engine is heated up, but there is a lot of other stuff that that you will notice when the engine is cold. Okay. Also, next thing that I would look at is things like handlebar ends, the grips, the levers, clutch lever, brake lever, the pegs. Look for obvious scratches and things that happen when you drop the bike. You know, those are the first things that contact the floor, and those are the first things that you have to look at. If he tells you, yeah, the bike was never dropped, but you find a scratch here and on the levers and on the fucking grips, you know, or like me in my case would be the mirrors and shit like that, then these are things that indicate that the bike was dropped. You know, when the bike was dropped, some people claim it on the insurance, some people don't. Some people like to hide it, some people are open about it. So you know, if you're in a conversation and you find something like this out, but he told you something else, then God knows what else he's hiding. You know, step away from the transaction. Don't be emotional attached to the bike. Keep looking. You know, you'll find your diamond. Next thing, take a look at the overall condition of the bike. How was it maintained? Was it parked outside? Is it garage kept? You know, some people have this. Some motorcycles have a steel frame. Is there rust on it? You know, how are the tires? How are the brakes? scratches, touch-ups, everything, you know. Look it over, and if you find something, then based on what it is, you know, you can negotiate the price down. If it's severe, step away from it. Don't be emotionally attached. Don't let your emotions overcome your, you know, your logical thinking. It's not a pussy, all right? I know when we see pussy, we want it. However, if you buy a Warrior, it's a pussy magnet. So think logical with the Warrior, and the pussy magnet will attract the pussy automatically. Anyways, see if he lets you ride it. If a owner won't let me test ride the bike when I have the cash in hand, it's a fair game, okay? If you don't have the cash in hand and or a certified check that you can prove that you are ready to buy the bike, don't expect the owner to let you test ride it. Okay, it's a mutual thing. I wouldn't let anybody test ride my fucking bike if they don't have the cash in hand and they promise me to fucking give me half of the fucking money that they have when they drop the bike, you know, or whatever it is. Same thing goes the other way. I bet you wouldn't like that either. It's a mutual thing. If the owner, just to recoup, if the owner doesn't see you with money in your hand ready to buy, and he's honest and everything is good about the transaction, don't expect him to give you the bike for a test ride. The other way around too. You know, if he doesn't give you the bike for a test ride, even if you have all the money on hand, red flag right there. You know, that's a huge red flag. Don't buy the bike. Those are like general things that you gotta check for on any motorcycle. All right, when you're there, feel them out, see how the bike was taken care of. Who are we dealing with? Honest seller, shady seller. Also, do your research, you know, see what the market is. How does the market, the online market, dictate the prices on that specific motorcycle you're looking at? Study the prices, study the mileage. What do these bikes run for at a certain mileage, you know, at a low mileage, at a high mileage? If you want to go a little bit deeper, study what are like problems that these bikes are known for. You know, for example, Yamaha Warrior is known for the click of death. You know, if you put LED lights or any type of LED light bulb or thing on your bike, you will deal with click of death, for example, you know. And click of death will drain the fuck out of your battery, you know. And a new battery is pretty expensive, you know. It can be like 80-90 bucks plus the repair of the click of death, which is not that expensive, to be honest. So do your research and go into the transaction as a educated buyer. I'm telling you, like when my friends, especially my friends that are interested in Warriors, they take me with, man, because I can see through those people's bullshit, and there is a lot of them out there. They say, oh yeah, that has to be like that. Oh yeah, that's the way it came. Oh, I don't know. You know, if you hear a seller saying, I don't know, red flag right there, man. Because if you don't know and he doesn't know, then who the fuck knows? Right? Your friend, if you have one, and if not, then you gotta rely on freaking internet stuff. It's just more work for you at the end, you know? Go in with a game plan. when it's time to go to see the bike in person, do the things that I just told you. You know, because this can give you a lot of clues about everything else. You know, how do you connect with the seller? Is he a dick? Does he does he let you test ride the bike? I mean, there shouldn't be any issue or any problem, but like I said, there's gotta be a mutual respect to the transaction, you know, and have the money ready, show it to him so you can test ride the bike. And on the other side, when you sell the bike, don't be a fucking dickhead, and if he shows you the money, let him test ride the bike. Okay, now let's move on to some Warrior specific stuff. When you go and buy your Warrior, there's a few things to look for, and I'm going to tell you right now what. After you applied your general checks, you are going to look at the bike, see if it has the click of death in there, see if the person knows about it, pop the seat, look how it looks like underneath, you know, ECU, all the fucking connectors, the battery. When you start the bike, when it has an LCV, it will idle faster and then the idle drops down. That's completely fucking normal, okay? If you see a check engine light, see what code it throws. So when you put the key into the ignition and you turn it over, you will see a code right where the time indicator is. See what code it throws. Is it a code 38, decompression solenoid? Is it a different code? Ask the owner if he knows what is wrong with the bike. If you see a check engine light, check yourself. Take out your phone, go to rswarrior.com or on the internet and check what does this code mean, you know, and maybe have even the fucking owner's manual on your phone. You know, when was the last oil change done? Does it need tires, brakes, spark plugs, you know, all that other stuff. What's the mileage? Ay, 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 ay. Spanish neighborhood over here. Or I should say Hispanic, right? Latino, Hispanic. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, I got my shit. Now it's time to fly. Now it's time to fly. And talk about our stuff, our motorcycle buying process. Look how freaking beautiful it is, man. I feel you guys, man. Everybody who lives up north, dealing with the fucking weather over there, you know, minus fucking 5,000 degrees. Hell no. Hell no. When you guys have winter time, I got riding time. Well, let's get back to our subject. You know, check for all these things. Now, when you go for test ride and you when you go for a test ride and you come back, the engine is heated up. Don't make it a short test ride, by the way. It can't be too long, but it can't be too short either. You know, you want to heat up the engine, and post test ride, you're gonna get off the bike and you're gonna let the engine run, and you're gonna listen to the bike. You know, when you heat the bike, you know, metal expands with heat. You know, all the liquids, oil and stuff is heated up. Hell yeah! When the engine is heated up, you know, and all the fluids are going and hot, you can check for things like valve tick, for example. Okay, now that's an important one, because if valve adjustment is not done correctly and they are too tight, for example, then this can be costly. You know, it's a big procedure, especially on the Warrior. Like, you know, you gotta take off a bunch of shit just to get to the fucking, you know, to the rocker and all that other crap. Push rods. You want to make sure your valves are adjusted right. So ask the owner also what has been done to the bike. How long has he had it? You know, look under the tank. Is there a Patrick Racing or Church Keys back or V-back? How's the clutch? Is the clutch grabbing? How's the cable? You know, clutch cable. Did he do a spring conversion? Barnett SR2 spring conversion clutch, you know? If he has a tricky air ride also, check the fucking compressor. You know, check the whole cylinder under the bike. Is it leaking air? You know, once you own a Warrior, it's very easy to maintain and everything. You know, maintenance cost on these bikes is not that much. It's not that high. You know, engine is bulletproof when you take care of it. Alright guys, I'm pretty sure I covered a lot here, and this should help you watch for specific things when you know, you buy a bike. If you have any more tips, let me know, comment below, and I'm gonna go get gas before I fucking get stranded over here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And GD Warrior says bye. I see you guys in the next one. It's your boy, GD Warrior.